to be killed in action. What I wasn't prepared for, Mr. Prime Minister, is Canada turning its back on me. So which veteran was it that you were talking about?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your passion and your strength and being here today to share this justifiable frustration and anger with me and with all of us here. Thank you for having the courage to stand here, and thank you for listening to my answer. On a couple of elements you brought up. First of all, why are we still fighting against certain veterans groups in court? Because they are asking for more than we are able to give right now.
Brock Blaszczyk had no idea he would get to ask a question at last night's town hall, but when the microphone was handed to him, he jumped at the chance. Brock is a retired corporal. He served in Afghanistan for less than a year when he was injured in an explosion and lost his leg. Brock joins us now in studio. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Really appreciate it. So how much notice were you given that you were going to be able to ask a question?
It was pretty much right there. Like, you know, that afternoon when, you know, I finally decided to go, you know, and talk to the wife about it, you know, she, you know, we just kind of talked about it on the drive down there. If I do get asked, what are we going to talk about? So.
And what was it like when you were standing there? I mean, obviously very passionate, and you got a round of applause from people when you were handed the microphone. What was that moment like?
It was nervous at first, and then kind of when I got into it and, you know, brought up the problems that, you know, I see and that I personally experience, you know, that kind of almost frustration kind of came out in a way, and then I just kind of blocked everybody else in the room, and it was kind of like me and him just in a room just by ourselves almost type thing. So
what did you think of what he had to say?
I kind of knew I would get the typical politician answer, you know, it's his job, and, you know, granted, you know, he has to, you know, represent, you know, all Canadians to the best of his ability. You know, I was disappointed in the fact that he said, you know, well, we just don't have the money for that right now.
After speaking to him the once, has it spurred you to have your voice heard more? Where do you go from here?
I think so. I've had my phone blowing up all day and everything like that. So it's, you know, it's just time to be silenced no more. Like, after I got out and after I got hurt, I just kind of wanted to do my own thing. I was working through my own stuff in my own head with, of course, you know, my PTSD, my injuries and everything like that. You know, and I kind of wanted to be that grumpy old dude, you know, get off my lawn type guy, you know, and just be left alone. But, you know, after, you know, seeing fellow other veterans, you know, going up against the government, the big dog through court cases and everything like that, you know, enough is enough. And, you know, Canada needs to realize that, you know, it's not all fine and dandy in the veterans world like it's made out to be, you know. Like the Prime Minister stated last night, you know, that pension for life option that they just announced last month, you know, I don't qualify though for. Even though I'm 100% disabled according to Veterans Affairs standards, I don't qualify because I work. You know, I have a full-time job, and that's only because of my own determination. You know, and for the fact that I have to support my family in some way. You know, I can't live off of nothing, you know, so, you know, because of that now, it doesn't apply to me. I don't deserve this lifetime pension option that they've been talking about, you know.
Yeah, it's obviously a very passionate talk.
So, that is the great Brock Blaszczyk, a truly great Canadian hero, for me anyway. Just a few points. Thanks to Global News for this video clip showed in this video. And on to the main point. I felt compelled to make a video about Brock because I felt that after this interview, the publicity on his case sort of ended. If I were directing like the head of the press, people like him would be on every week until the government was forced to act. You heard it here. Because I am trying to support my family, so I have a full-time job, I don't qualify for a compensation, to paraphrase, because I'm 100% disabled. That's what he said. And I'm trying to provide for my family through my own perseverance, my own determination, because I have to. This is a family man. He tried to support his family. I feel great shame that our government is not able to provide a great man like this, a family man, an honest man who is doing his best, the proper compensation for something that he was doing in service of his country. Again, I say I feel a great debt of gratitude to him. A great and overwhelming responsibility to help him in any way. The behavior of this Liberal government is extremely shameful. It's reprehensible. A government who doesn't support its citizens, especially citizens who have served as veterans and who have lost their way of life. In the example of Brock, he lost his leg. He's lost feeling tissue in his other leg. Post-traumatic stress disorder and all the other psychological damage that's happened to him on the way. Canada should rally behind a man like that. Canada should not hesitate to give any kind of health benefits that man needs to rehabilitate himself. Every dime, every penny spent on Omar Khadr should be afforded to this man, and like people like him. War veterans, people that fight for freedom, for the ideals of this nation, for peace. I can say I feel very, very, very sad and so ashamed as a Canadian that we cannot support a man like that. He didn't even ask for our support. He persevered in spite of our government being inadequate and incompetent and inhuman. So my fellow Canadians, remember Brock Blaszczyk, because there's a man I consider to be an exemplary Canadian. You could see he's flustered at the amount of attention that he got from his video that he did not intend. He is a very humble person, I can say that, a gentle person. So, with that said, I will continue to try to bring to light anything that I find on that case on my channel. If you like this video, please support Brock. And if you like this video, if you would be willing, please support me as well with a like or a subscription. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for your time and attention. Good night.